Hello, welcome to Kyyba Health and Life. I'm your host, Kristen Willisanovic. It's going to be an amazing day in the Kyyba studios. I'm here with the beautiful Lisa Metropolis.
Hey, Kristen.
How are you?
Good, good.
And we have, it's your birthday.
It is. It's my birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy 29 forever. Yeah. And it gets very, the energy gets lit when we have the kids in the studio.
I know. Their energy. The youths.
One of our Kyyba Health and Life platforms is youth and education. Yep. So when this very talented young woman reached out to me, it was without a doubt to get her on as soon as possible. So without further ado, the beautiful Sabrina Kleiss is here with us today.
Hello.
And what's so exciting about her is that I've known her for a long time, since she was a little girl.
Right, right.
And now she's not so little anymore. How old are you, young
22,
lady?
Going on 23 this October.
Same age as you, Lisa.
I know. Happy birthday to us, Sabrina.
Yes, this year's my golden birthday, actually, which is exciting.
You turned 22 on the 22nd.
No, 23
on the 23rd.
Yeah. 23 on the 23rd. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what's really exciting about this young woman is not only are you beautiful on the outside, you have a really big mission and platform that you're working towards. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
So what I'm doing is I'm going into ministry for the next year, and at MSU, it's a college women's ministry, and it's called Delight, and you get to apply to have it come to your school, and you just create it on your own, and they send you resources. So it's kind of like having a chapter. And so I led it at MSU for the past 2 years, which was an incredible experience and was so needed with all of the negativity and horrible things happening at MSU that I'm sure a lot of people have heard about.
Right.
So it was very good to have a place to go where everyone could just be uplifted and really pour into each other and really just speak life over each other. And so I've dedicated the next year of my life to being a regional director for them, which means
no big deal, 22, 23.
But
yeah, it's so exciting.
I know. I'm so excited for it. And having your support means absolutely everything. So I appreciate it so much.
Well, you are a very impressive young woman. Yes. And a lot of times at 22, 23, people, young men and women are at crossroads. They don't know what they want to do, or it's a time in their life. Sometimes they have to pick a major and they're still unsure.
Right.
So the fact that you have such tremendous focus and vision at, like I said, you're an old soul, but at 23 years old, what has driven you?
I think it has been a lot of the hardships in my life that have kind of gotten me to this point. I've had a lot of health problems growing up, and dealt with a lot of mental health disorders and physical health problems. And so I was sick for a year and a half in high school. I think you remember that. Mm-hmm. It was mono, and then it turned into chronic fatigue for a year and a half. And so I was kind of bedridden for a while.
For a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time, kind of knocked me out of school.
And that was really hard because you're a very active family, very involved at the high school and in sports, and you were bedridden for a long time.
Yep.
So to miss out, you're making up for some lost time, aren't you, baby?
Yeah, for sure. And it was hard because everyone's at that age so focused on figuring out their own lives that it was hard for my friends to kind of stay in touch with me and things like that. So it was a very lonely time, but I feel like a lot of good came out of it.
It's kind of during those hardest times where the biggest growth, and you have to self-internalize and really figure things out. What do you think guided you? What kept you going, though?
Yeah, definitely God.
And your faith.
So I really kind of grew up in the church. We kind of went every once in a while, but then we stopped going completely. I think it was like fifth grade-ish. And then in 8th grade, I went to a church with my friend, and that's really when I got introduced to the idea that you can have an actual relationship with Jesus.
Right.
And
a youth group kind of situation where peers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And before that, my church growing up never really told me that. It was just, there are a bunch of rules you need to follow, and that's kind of it. And that's what you do, and that really isn't the heart of it. And so finding out that you can have a relationship with Jesus and really be following him and walking with him on your daily life is what changed my life.
Lisa, you have a parochial background as well, so you can relate to, you
absolutely. There's so much. There's a lot involved when you grow up, and you have, at first that religious experience hits you at such a young age, and especially if it's only religious and there's not a spirituality content to it. It's a lot of rules. It's a lot of fire and brimstone.
It's a lot of guilt.
It's a lot of guilt. And you grow up with that, and then when you come into something that's spiritual, that really takes you by the hand and by the heart, and you can walk with it. You can make it your own. You can say, like for me, I grew up. I'm very I've. For in-term purposes, I am an advocate for a lot of liberal causes. Well, they're just the right causes, and a lot of people say, well, you grew up Christian or you grew up this. How can you be pro-choice? How can you be these things? Well, my walk with God encourages to understand, love, and support all of that. So it's really important that you make it your own. You do.
I think you have, haven't you?
Absolutely.
Are you two speaking love language? I mean, I can see the connection too. So, and I think when you're down and out, especially at a young age, to overcome and succeed and see the other side, now you can share your story.
For sure. And I think that's where you can connect with people the most, is through hardship, because when you're real and vulnerable about those hard times, everyone can connect with that. Everyone's going through something. And I think it's when we're living in this social media society where everyone's kind of putting on their perfect face and trying to act
Perfect
like everything
family.
act like everything is just absolutely okay all the time. That's when everyone feels so alone and so disconnected because they feel like they're the only ones going through hard stuff.
That is such a great point that you bring up. And when you do see someone who's brave enough to go on social media and say, hey, I'm going through this, and while they probably won't get their 150 likes of like a family of 4 picture, they'll get 1 or 2 probably inbox messages of saying, hey,
that's right,
I'm here for you.
That's right.
And that's the beauty. There's massive conflict with social media, but there's also massive connection that can really help you. So, okay, tell us a little bit, because we know you're on a mission.
That's right.
And our viewers and listeners, we can help you. How can we help you?
Yeah, so I have to raise my salary for the next year, as well as all of the expenses for traveling to each of the campuses that I'm going to be mentoring. And each of the campuses have about 5 to 10 girls on their leadership teams that are running their ministry just completely on their own, but with me helping them and kind of corresponding with them. And they're just doing so much.
So you did it for 2 years, and now you're going to go help and guide and lead other women just starting into it from campuses all over the country?
Yeah, so I'm the Mid-South region, so I'm in Missouri, West Tennessee, Alabama, and Florida.
I would have picked Hawaii. I would have picked Florida, yes, would be on the list.
Florida would be a good one.
Maybe New York City.
Right. When you get those, we'll come.
Come down to visit. We were talking about you coming down to Nashville to visit.
We will be there for sure.
Yeah, I did not get a choice. I got to put preferences, but they honestly, Nashville, I didn't realize how perfect it was until they told me.
That's beautiful.
So I'll get to be just pouring into these girls and really
what do you
sharing
tell
my
them?
Life story.
What do you tell them?
It depends on what they're going through, because I think every individual person needs to hear a specific thing, and so you can't really go into it with the mindset of this is the perfect advice for every single person. So it's just really listening to them, giving them your ear, and really trying to share your heart with them about what they're specifically going through.
So, and to your point too, Lisa, what I think is so important and a key message to this interview is providing unconditional love and support.
Absolutely.
I think all too often, if we find ourselves, that's why we don't let ourselves get vulnerable, because as soon as we do, we're often on the defense or being attacked because we aren't living that perfect life.
Right.
Once you surrender to that and say, hey, I'm a human and this is what's going on, and you receive unconditional support, there is nothing. There's nothing that compares to that. There's no medicine. There's no doctor. There is no one that can fix anything like that.
That's right.
So what you're doing truly, truly is going to change lives and change the world.
Thank you.
And I'm sure it already has. I'm sure in the last 2 years, the number of lives you've touched, and then the number of lives they've touched, it's just it's something bigger than we can even imagine.
And when you go out and we throw these gorgeous little birdies out the nest, and they're out in the universe, sharing love and light.
Well, you're fundraising.
Yes.
So what?
Yes.
So what is that? Because there's so people. Everyone wants to. I'm sure they hear you. They want to support you. How can they support you? But tell us a little bit about what you have to do to fundraise. What that means.
Yeah, so it's kind of different for everyone that goes into it, but has a base that is similar. And it's really just reaching out to the people that you know in your life that really have supported you when you were younger, or that you recently have come in to know, and just really sharing your heart and being really authentic about what your passion is for whatever you're going into, and then your story and your reasoning for choosing that, and really just
choosing this path.
Yeah, and really like carving out the time to sit down and listen to them about what they're going through in their lives, how you can take their advice and apply that to your ministry and things like that, because it's so nice in an age where we are all like texting and on Facebook to really just be able
have
to
that
schedule
connection.
Time, and sit down
and
that
you
have
said
coffee, and
face
just really
to face.
talk,
So we recommend people check you out on social media. You're doing an outreach right now, so you have like a specific target that you're reaching out to, but people can reach out to you. Sabrina Kleiss, and we'll share this on Kyyba Health and Life. And there's also a link for more information about your organization, and a specific link if you want to specifically help Sabrina, which we are. We are helping you monthly. So there's a fee monthly that we're paying for, and it helps this young woman go out there and connect and connect and connect, and not just connect, but lift, love, and lead.
Right.
There's so much more.
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys so much, because it's helping so many more people than just me. It's helping all of the girls that I'm going to be talking to, as well as every single person in their lives, because when you're changing one person, you're not just changing them, you're changing everyone around them. So
it's bigger than all of us, isn't it? This is your birthday present, Lisa.
It is. Happy birthday to me. And the name of it is Delight. That's your T-shirt, right? That's what it says. The name of it is Delight. And that's what you delight in God. You delight in in your mission and your engagement with people. And I love that.
And you're an absolute delight. So Sabrina Kleiss, only the beginning. When do you, so this is a year of fundraising, and then you leave 2020?
No, I'm leaving August 1st. Yes.
8/1.
I have had the summer to fundraise, and then I'm going to be off.
8/1.
Yes.
There she goes.
There she goes.
Boom. What state is first? Nashville?
Yeah. So
Okay. Tennessee,
Yeah, I'm going to be training in Tennessee, in Nashville, because that's where they started, was Belmont University in Nashville. So I got lucky enough to be placed where their headquarters is.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So I get to stay there with all of the other regional directors that are going to be across the country as well, with their own regions. And then we get to train, and then we're going to have this big conference for leaders to be able to come to from all across the country, and really just share ideas, and really be filled up by the Lord, and we get to pour into them during that as well, and meet a lot of them.
I am so excited
Did
to
I raise
see
her
what
well?
your future is. I'm so right now, and I'm so excited to see to watch your journey.
Thank you so
So
much.
glad I raised you so good.
I know.
mean,
Good
your
job.
parents had nothing
Good
to do
job,
with it. You're welcome. You're welcome, America. In all seriousness, Sabrina Kleiss, check her out. Check all this information out on Delight on Facebook and Instagram. And it's only the beginning, baby. We can't wait to have you back on to report and let us know all the good you did. Thank you.
I'm so excited. Thank
Lisa
you so
Metropolis, on behalf of the Kyyba Health and Life family, happy birthday.
Thank you, love. Thank
we
you.
love and adore you.
Happy 29th.
Happy
you.
29th.
That's right.
And to our
Party
viewers, our viewers and listeners, this has been Kyyba Health and Life.